Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome you all to today's webinar on Vastu Meets Real Estate, a blueprint for creating prosperous properties. We have the honor of introducing our speaker, Mr. Rohit Rao. Rohit is a Vedic astrologer, numerologist, Vastu consultant, holistic healer, and spiritual counselor. He co-founded Lalita Healing, Prana Card, and Prana Agro. Rohit has helped many people and businesses achieve prosperity, balance, and fulfillment with his expertise. I would also like to introduce our esteemed facilitator for today's session, Mr. Manoj Agarwal, our Managing Director. Under his leadership, Agarwal Estates has grown to become a trusted name in the real estate industry, known for its commitment to excellence and customer satisfaction. Here's how today's session will flow. We'll start with an introduction to Vastu Shastra and its basic principles, followed by an exploration of how Vastu can improve real estate value. You can ask questions at any time during the presentation by either unmuting yourself or typing your questions in the chat box. The session will last for approximately 45 minutes and we'll wrap up with key takeaways. So without further ado, let's get started. The floor is all yours, Mr. Roy.
Yeah, thank you, Pooja. Namaste, everyone. Good morning. I'm delighted to be here today, and I want to thank Mr. Manoj Agarwal ji and the entire team for inviting me to speak on this important topic, Vastu and real estate. And special thanks to Ayushi for coordinating with me the whole time. Now, Agarwal ji and his team has given me certain points to cover. I'll do my best to share my insights within the time frame. So today we'll explore how Vastu plays a crucial role in real estate, from selecting the right property to optimizing space for positivity and prosperity. I will share key principles, practical tips, real life case studies, and I'll be happy to take your questions at the end. Or if you have any questions, you can we can take it up in between the topics itself. Now, this session will last around, as Pooja said, around 1 hour or 45 minutes, whatever, however it is. Feel free to take notes and participate in the discussion. Right. So let's begin. Now, first topic, what I have got is introduction to Vastu Shastra and key principles. Now, Vastu is an ancient architectural science that focuses on harmonizing spaces with natural forces to promote prosperity, health, and overall well-being. Now, Vastu has five basic principles, also known as Panchbhutas, that is earth, water, fire, air, and space. So, what Vastu does is it provides guidelines for constructing and arranging buildings to ensure positive energy flow. Now, this is a age-old practice. This is not a new thing because in ancient times, many Raja, Maharajas, they used to design the forts, their empire, the nagaras, everything based on Vastu principles. Now, to take an example, I live in Bangalore, and the founder of Bangalore, Kempe Gowda ji, when he designed the Vastu, that is, when he designed Bangalore, he made sure that the market is in one place, and in market there are different things like a cotton pate is there, where all the cotton related products is sold. There is Bangar pate, there is Nagar pate. So basically the market area is separate, and there was residential area for all the residents to stay, and there was administration and other office buildings which were separate from all these things, and there was agriculture land. So now this ensured smooth flow of energy. Now, while the key principle of Vastu is first is directional alignment. Each direction is associated with a planetary influence and specific energy. For example, the north is linked to prosperity, while the southeast governs the fire element. So that is the financial stability. Now, if there is any problem in the north direction, so you can say that it will hamper the prosperity of the residents or at offices. Or if there is a problem in the southeast direction, that is the Agnistan. So if there is no fire element in the sense basically it's the it gives the people of the house of the residents or at office space to work. It gives them that energy to work. So if that is not proper, then there will be some distortion in that. Now, as I said, there is five basic elements. Now, the five elements you have to make sure that there is harmonious balance in all those five elements, which in turn prevents the negative energy accumulation. Now, the next thing is the energy flow and open spaces. Now, this is a very important thing because of late people are designing workplaces in a way wherein it is just like a prison. There is no proper airflow or anything. Or they have the small cubicle areas and they have air conditioned everything. And there is no proper sunlight. So thus creating not just at physical, even at mental health, it's being hampered. Of late, there are a lot of psychosomatic illnesses which many people are facing, be it psychosomatic illnesses, being ADHD problem, mobile addiction, stress, depression, anxiety, and many more. So, over a period of time, what happens is this has a huge impact on an individual's life, not alone on the finances, even at health point of view, relation point of view. So, Vastu ensures that there is a clutter-free entrance, ample ventilation, and well-placed windows and doors, which encourages the positive energy circulations and attracts prosperity and positivity. Now, the next aspect is the entrance and the plot shape. Now, the main entrance is it's like the gateway. If the main entrance has some problem, so you can say that there'll be the entire Vastu. Even if the building is Vastu compliant, if the main entrance is not in the proper facing, then almost 50% of Vastu defect starts from there. So main entrance, either it should be ideally people prefer Vastu consultant prefer north or east direction as it is considered as auspicious. While irregular shaped plots can lead to financial instability. So when you're selecting a plot, make sure that it is at least rectangle shape or it should have some shape to it. It should not be haphazard. It should not be like a ginger. It has no, basically it has no shape at all. So it should not be like that. There should be some defined corners should be there. Now, the next thing is the rooms and item placement. Kitchen in Southeast is very much important. As I said, it's the Agnisthana. So that is where you usually prepare food, thus helping for prosperity and the health as well. Now, bedroom should be in Southwest for stability and so on. So this is the first topic, the first topic. If you have any doubts in this, you can just ask me now, or you can just make a note. In the end, we can discuss everything at a stretch. The second topic is the role of Vastu in real estate value and functionality. Now, the role of Vastu in real estate is very much essential because Vastu compliance can significantly impact property value, demand, and functionality by making the space more positive and livable. What happens is, first thing, it creates higher market value. So, properties which are aligned with Vastu principles often have higher resale value and faster appreciation. So you can actually see many buyers. What they do is first thing, apart from the financial aspect, what they ask is this Vastu compliant, right? Especially in India, it happens. So the buyers they prefer homes and offices that promises financial growth and well-being, and this can only be achieved by balancing the five elements. Now, why balancing of the five elements is important? be it human body, animals, or the house, or everything. It is made up of these five elements. So our homes and offices are nothing but extension of ourselves. So when we align these things, when there is balance in the home or in the offices, what happens is there will be a balance in your aura and chakras as well. So that is a different topic, but let's continue with this. The second aspect is the better energy and well-being. Now, a Vastu compliant home entrance enhances peace, productivity, and harmony. So it also reduces stress and conflicts among residents. So you can expect that there will be harmony. So it's not just about selling a particular apartment or a particular plot. There should be harmony between neighbors as well. Of late we have seen so many conflicts happening between residents. So this has negative impact on the builder as well, because what happens is people think that okay, this particular builder has constructed this particular property and there is a lot of conflict happening. So there is something wrong with the builder itself or the way the plot has been built itself. So we have to make sure that with Vastu, you can avoid all these things with proper Vastu. Now, the third point is there will be increase in demand in the real estate market. Many home buyers and investors prioritize Vastu friendly properties, making them more desirable. So, developers often design projects with Vastu principles to attract customers. And it is not just for attraction. As I said, this is actually proven fact that the properties which are Vastu compliant, you'll be able to see the people who are residing in the Vastu compliant home or in the offices. There'll be a lot of increase in productivity. So you can look at them, the way they work, the way they live. Basically, it has a lot of you can make out that yes, this is something positive energy is going on there. Now the fourth point is enhanced business growth. Commercial spaces following Vastu attract success and financial prosperity. So offices with well placed entrances, cabins, and conference rooms promote productivity and financial stability. Now, the last point in this is the functional optimization. Now, proper positioning of rooms, furnitures, fixtures, utilities, it can be objects. So, improves the usability, comfort, and overall functionality. Now, moving on to the third topic, that is designing Vastu compliant properties, best practices. Am I being too fast? Is it, are you all able to follow?
We are able to follow.
Yeah.
May I please also request, like, if you can give some examples, like what kind of direction or this thing would be
Yeah, it's
useful,
it's
right?
coming up. It's coming up.
Next. Well,
It's coming up. I'm following your topic, sir. According to that, I'm doing it.
then
So,
feel free to change the order as per your convenience.
okay. Now, this is how I've prepared. So, this see, first of all, you have to understand why we have to implement Vastu, because see, that need, you have to understand the need. Then only you can imply these principles. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense if you don't understand why we have to use Vastu. Now, the third topic, as I said, the designing Vastu compliant properties and what are the best practices. Now, when constructing or renovating properties, following I'll just give you the best practices as per the Vastu, which ensures harmony and prosperity. If you want, you can just make a note of it. For residential spaces, coming to the first aspect, that is the main entrance. Ideally, it should be in the north or east direction or northeast direction to attract prosperity. You should avoid uh, properties which has entrance towards southwest direction, right? Now this is the main entrance. Now going to the kitchen placement. Now usually the kitchen should be in the southeast corner of the plot because as I said, it's the fire zone. And cooking direction should be east. That is, a person who cooks the food, they should face east. Now coming to the master bedroom. Ideally, it should be in the southwest. I'm talking about the master bedroom. Ensuring this ensures stability and strength. And toilets and bathrooms. Now, toilets and bathroom should be in the northwest direction or the south directions. You should avoid placement of toilets in northeast, north, southeast, southwest directions. See, people who place the toilets in the southwest direction over a period of time, they tend to attract Pitrudosha. So that is one of the aspects in astrology as well. I don't know whether many of you know it or not, but Pitrudosha is it attracts a lot of negativity, especially for the head of the family. Usually in India, it will be the male members who will be the head of the family. So basically, it hampers them a lot. So toilets, having toilets in the in the southwest direction, it hampers the male members and the children who are going to take birth in that particular house. Now coming to the puja room. Uh, and okay, before that, having toilets, see, southeast corner is for cash flow. So what happens if you place a toilet in the southeast direction? So every time you use it, it's like cash will be draining out, right? So that's why you should avoid that area. And north is for opportunities. So if you place toilets in the north direction, what happens? The opportunities, it will drain out. Now, many people, what they do is they have this debate because north is the direction for it's the water element direction. So they say that that is the preferable place to keep toilets. It's not so because water element is different and placing of toilet is different. See, when we talk about water element, water is in the pure form, but toilet is not a water element at all. It's actually we are expelling things. So you should not consider toilet as a water element, right? See, and coming to the next aspect, that is a puja room. A puja room, or call it as a meditation room. Of late, people prefer are more into yoga and all these things. So the preferable direction is in the northeast or east. So while doing any kind of spiritual activities, it is ideal to face east. So what happens is east has this energy, that is the spiritual energy. So that's why it's better you keep puja room in that direction and you have to face east while performing any rituals. Now coming to the living room. Living room should ideally be in northeast direction or north direction for welcoming positive energy. And one aspect in living room is make sure that there is no clutter. That is, it should be open. People have this habit of placing huge objects in their living room in form of decor, or they keep this huge fountains. So avoid those things. So it should be very minimalistic. It should be open. It should be clean and clutter free. And this is the Vastu for residential areas. Now coming to the commercial of office spaces.
Before you move ahead, yeah, I think Mr. Manoj has a question.
Yes, sir.
So what questions people ask me many times regarding the
Mhm.
entrance, right?
Yeah,
So what I heard from you, okay, the door should be either north or east or ideally northeast facing,
yeah. Idea. This is yeah.
right? So I have seen people they take the compass, even with south facing, they assume it is north facing. So can
Mhm.
you please explain how to determine the door direction while coming inside the house or leaving the house?
Yeah.
That is question number one. Second
Mm.
is there any, is Vastu a science or is more about our spiritual belief? Or is there anything beyond that? Okay, why this concept came, right? Okay, the door should be east facing or not facing. Anything behind the scene which you could be aware of it?
Yeah. See, coming to your first question, uh, when you place the entrance, may you have to face north. For example, the sun rises in the east. So this is how you have to judge. So when the sun is rising towards your east, your right hand should face towards the sun. And when you're facing, so that is the entrance. So that becomes your north. So when you enter from north, you'll be entering. So you'll be seeing the south wall. Or if your entrance is in the east, so you'll be when you enter, you'll be seeing the west wall, right? So if the entrance is in the east, so north will be towards your left. From inside, I'm talking. Okay. So when you're entering from outside, you'll be facing, when you're entering through the east door, you'll be facing the west wall. And north door, it will be, you'll be entering through the north door and you'll be facing the south wall. So that is the
Got it.
proper placement. And coming to your second question, that is whether it is science or a superstitious belief. Actually, this is a science itself because see, many practices what our ancestors have given us, these are based on science itself. But of late, uh, that is after the invasion and colonization, basically, these practices were stopped by them to basically see in ancient times. If you see, even today, if you talk to any of your grandparents, they'll always be happy in that mode of tranquility. They don't have that, they don't understand the concept of stress, depression, because it's not that they didn't have stress and depression. To be very honest, they had faced lot of negative things like famine, drought. There was, their survival was at stake. But for us, it's not so. Just by a click of a button, we can get the groceries, we can get the food delivered, everything. But then too, they didn't have relationship problems, they didn't have mental issues, they didn't have ADHD problems or any kind of addictions. They were living very well, harmoniously. Why is it so? If you look at the villages, even today, I don't know in north whether there are a lot of villages, but in south, if you visit any village, you can see that the way they used to design the homes. It was balancing of these elements itself. So that had a huge impact. So just because scientifically we are unable to prove it in terms of the foreign measures, whatever measures they use, that doesn't make it as a non-scientific thing. It's not a pseudoscience or it's not a superstitious belief. So it is basically, it's very much a science. And just by rectifying certain things, like it can be changing the color in certain direction, or object placements, or what we believe in Lalita healings, what we believe is we don't believe in non-destructive vastu rectification. We believe in rituals and remedies. So we provide a lot of see, small remedies can rectify many things. So it's all about balancing of these elements. So this is basically, as you can call it, as a science itself. So as I said in the introduction, it's the science of architecture. Now
So
coming back to our topic, the
one more follow-up question on the same topic.
yeah.
Is there any remedy? Because what I get to have a lot of time from the customer, if the door is north facing or east facing, they are happy to buy without asking too many questions. Okay.
Yeah.
And the parents also feel they are blessed.
Mhm.
Now, if the door is south facing,
Mhm.
the lot of questions comes in the buyer's mind.
Yeah.
So is south that bad, or is there any remedy to it?
It's a wonderful question because this is a very common and basic question, what even we get. as whenever we go for any consultation, this is the first question which will be asked for us. See, no direction is bad. And what I said, the north and east direction, this is not a specific thing. This is a generic thing. There are certain directions in south and in west as well, wherein it will be very much beneficial. So this depends on the purchaser. What is their requirement? So based on their requirement, we can assign the main entrances. So and on top of it, it also we have to look at the stars in the sense their planetary positions and all these things. So this is not a very generic thing, it's a specific approach. So whenever a person is purchasing a home, they should not go for this generic thing like north is the best. See, this is something wherein I'm talking from the point of view of real estate. Usually people prefer north and east direction wherein you can enhance that, but that doesn't mean that you can't make each and every property facing north and east. It's impractical basically. So there are certain directions even in south as well as in west which has lot of positive energies. May not be as good as north or east, but it is equally beneficial. And as I said, it depends on the purchaser, on their stars planetary position and their requirement. So, and coming to the remedy portion, what we do is we just don't, as I said, we believe in non-destructive remedies and remedies basically, and we have certain products which can rectify those whatever negative or wrong vastu is there. And the second aspect is the sadhana, self sadhana, like chanting of switch words. We give certain switch words to chant, so you can use those switch words to improve or the you can rectify it. And even there are rudraksh, there are many products and rituals remedies are there. So even if a person has already purchased a south facing plot, or let's say southwest entrance itself, because generally whatever it is better to avoid southwest entrance. But we have seen so many cases, we have got so many cases wherein there was southwest entrance as well. But we have, with our remedies and rituals, we have been able to rectify those things as well. So it's not that there is no solution at all. There is always solution, but it's the way we approach. That's it.
Last question in the same topic. So there are, if you look at the 8 or 10 direction, right? North, mostly in combination, correct? South, southeast, whatever. So
There
in
is
your
16,
opinion,
16. Mhm.
16, okay. In your opinion, if you have to pick the one in terms of generalizing, just generic question basically,
Yeah.
not specific to a particular purchaser, which will you consider as the best entrance and which one comparatively the poorer one basically. Like the example you give southwest or northeast, right? So which is considered to be the best, which is that one should avoid basically in
Yeah.
general.
So generally speaking, north is most preferable. That is the first thing, because what happens is the energy flow will be more, will be intense. And if you are looking for prosperity, for success, growth, north is the thing. North is the best direction. You can also consider the second best, you can consider it as east, because what happens is even east is equally, it has a lot of positive energy. It is aligned with the spiritual, that is the cosmic energy. So basically, it has the spiritual as well as materialistic energy combined into it. But an entrance which everyone should avoid is the south west direction. So that is not preferable at all.
Thank you.
Right?
Sir, why
Now,
so?
hmm?
I think somebody was asking,
Sir,
please repeat the
why it is
question.
not?
See, as I
Sir,
said,
why?
yeah, yeah. See, as I said, southwest is the entrance. That is, if you have southwest entrance, you attract Pitru dosha. So there will be lot of see, Pitru dosha is nothing but the ancestral curses. So whatever negative things, that is, it keeps enhancing. Basically, what happens is energy, when you open a door, you're basically letting the positive energy enter. Or let's forget about positive or negative. You're letting the energy enter your home. Correct? So southwest is a corner where the Pitru energy entrance through that area. So when you open the door, you're entering, you're letting that Pitru energy, the Pitru dosha energy enter. Now, whereas if you have entrance in the north direction, so that is where the prosperity energy flows. So when you open the door, what you're doing, you're letting in the prosperity energy flow. If your entrance is in this east, so it is prosperity as well as spirituality mixed. So what happens? Positivity basically. So you're letting the uh, prosperity as well as the positive energy enter your home or the offices. So it's like that.
Anybody from the audience, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next topic.
I have two questions before we proceed.
Yes,
So one, I wanted to know if the Vastu principles differ for a flat and let's say a villa dependent house, or is it the same? And secondly, I wanted to know, let's say we have a flat wherein in some of the rooms, so let's say in the entrance and the master bedroom, the Vastu principles are being followed, but some areas like the puja room and the bathroom, the Vastu principles are not being followed. So are there any like important rooms where the Vastu should be strictly followed? Like what do we do in such cases?
yeah. So yes, when it comes to Vastu, the principles, the element, see, basically it's all about balancing of elements. So the principles remains the same, but it differs from offices to residential houses to farms, and when you're talking about villas, even it matters a lot. But when it comes to flats and villas, it is almost, because it will be the one aspect, but you have to consider the staircase in this because it will be continuation. And so only that aspect it changes. But office and commercial plots, that is offices and residential homes and farms, the principles will remain the same, but the usage of this principle, it changes, it differs. And coming to your second question, yes, the most fundamental thing about Vastu defect, the Vastu, what we have seen is that if you have toilet placement in these four areas, that is southeast, southwest, northeast, and north, if you have toilets in these areas, it is a huge Vastu defect. Let's say you don't have toilets in these areas. What happens is you can say almost 50 to 60% of the Vastu defect, it will not be there. And coming to the placement of, let's say the Vastu is not compliant for 50% of the house, 50% it's compliant. Now, in such situation, what happens is it depends on the person as well. How your karmas are, how well your sadhana, what we call as sadhana, that is the the self sadhana, what you do. All this activity makes a lot of difference. See, to give you a case study, just one of our clients recently availed our services. We had been to her house. So she is a staunch believer in Sri Sri Ravi Shankar art of living. So almost 70% of her house was Vastu defect. It had Vastu defects. But then too, we saw that she said, yes, there are some difficulties, but I'm not facing those things. I'm able to see the glimpse of it. But then too, somehow I par all those things easily. So that is because she's doing the sadhana. She's aligned with her guru. She's doing a lot of meditation practices. So all these things matters a lot. And the product placement as well. She has a lot of positive things, positive plants. Now, the plant placement, the choice of plants, what you keep, it all makes a lot of difference. We think that okay, plants are something which we should stay away from it. So it's not like that. The more you are connected with the nature, the better your energies will function. So when her case was the pure example that Vastu principles will, you can avoid certain Vastu defects when you are spiritually aligned as well. So that is why what we do is whenever we get any client who avail our services, we not only recommend products, we also suggest certain sadhanas. That's what I was talking about, right? So when you start doing this, along with products, along with your self sadhana, you can see the immense opportunities opening up. There'll be a lot of positivity in terms of health, wealth, prosperity, success, peace of mind, overall well-being. So this is something where yes, and when it comes to puja room and everything, you can do some non-destructive remedies are there. You can placement of certain objects in certain places. You can rectify those defects as well. So it's see, one thing I would like to say is, don't have this feeling that there is no solution at all. Please be open. There is a lot of solution, and if you connect with us, and we'll be able to provide customized remedies, rituals, products, all these things are there. So never have this feeling that if there is any kind of, or you should not have any fear at all. So there is always room for solutions.
Um, I have a question.
Anyone? Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, I was about to ask that.
Yeah, among the you were mentioning the furnitures also. Just wanted to know, is there any particular direction for the bed, especially the master bedroom, and the say sofa set in the living room or dining table, anything? I mean,
Yes.
bed for sure. Yeah.
See, what happens is this is something even the science backs up. Our body has this magnetic energy as well, right? We have iron content in our blood. So when we are facing north, if you know, north has that pulling effect. I'm talking about the scientific way. North, even the compass, what you hold, it points towards the north. How does it do? Because it has that energy pulling. So as we have iron content in our blood as well, so if you sleep facing in the north direction, what happens is basically it will start pulling. No, it can't be, just sleeping one night, it doesn't happen. But over a period of time, we have seen a lot of people facing problems related to brain or related to sinuses. They have, even we have seen to such an extent that a person had a brain hemorrhage because he was facing in the north direction. So you have to avoid north direction, and you have to avoid west direction as well. That is placing your head towards the west side. The best direction is south or east direction. So you need not even move the furniture. You can just shift the placement of your bed, or of your pillow, basically. So we're coming to the furniture as well. So this is something very, this is not a general question because it depends on the furniture. We have to look into those things. And one thing I'd like to say is make sure that there is no clutter. It is, you should be able to move freely. So don't hold on to a lot of furniture. Like, if you have a space of, if the living room is, let's say, 10 by 10, don't cramp it. Choose furniture wherein it is, even if it is less, it's good actually. Don't overdo things. Like, you need not purchase a complete, 5-seater sofa set and all those things. You can go in for something. Now we have a lot of options, like portable things, like we have, foldable chairs, foldable, many things are there. So you can switch on to those things. So basically, don't clutter. So when it comes to furniture, never clutter.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Prema, please. You have a question.
Yeah.
I wanted to know, you mentioned that even the plants in the house affects
Yes.
Vastu and all these
Yes.
things. So do you
Yes.
have any list of plants which are good to keep inside the
Definitely.
house and outside the
Yeah.
house? This is my first
Yes.
question. My second question here is
Hmm.
that I heard a lot of people saying that mirror should not be placed in front of your bed. because
Mm.
it attracts some kind of energy. When you wake up, you should not see the mirror.
Yeah.
So, what is the science behind it? Is it true or not?
Yeah. Coming to your first question, I'll give you a couple of plants which you can place it. One is the aloe vera. So this plant you can place it near your entrance or near your main gate if you are living in a villa. So this what happens is there are two aspects. One is it removes it avoids all the negative energy which will enter your premises. And another thing is it enhances the positive energy. So this is one thing near the entrance or near the main gate you can keep aloe vera plant. Next is the snake plant. It emits lot of oxygen, so you can place it inside your home. It can be in the northeast direction, or it can be in the near the entrance, or in the southeast direction. You can place those things. You can even plant tulsi, that is the holy basil. That is another plant. You can plant parijata plant even that is there. And if you have the option of growing creepers, you can even plant a betel leaf as well. So it is the aspect of Lakshmi. So you can place it can be in northeast or in the southeast direction. You can place these plants. And as again, there are many plants in this. The list it keeps going, and it depends on the area as well. So make sure that you have enough space for the plants. One thing. The second is you have to give them sufficient sunlight. So it should not happen that you bring in the plants inside and over a period of time it should not be dry up. So you should make sure that you have that helping hand wherein people lifting the pot, keeping outside. Because snake plant, what happens is at least once a week you have to keep it outside for it to get the sunlight. Then it will be healthy. So you have to you have to plan accordingly. So Vastu is not just about doing certain things. You have to plan in the for the future as well. You have to plan whether you have proper space, proper man force. All these things you have to plan properly and act accordingly. And yeah, coming to your second question, that is the mirror placement. Yes, mirrors have lot of see placement of mirror in your bedroom. What happens is what is the main function of mirror? Reflection, right? So if there is lot of negative energy, what it does, it reflects that. When you're sleeping, what happens is you enter into something known as subconscious level. When you enter into that state, having a mirror, what happens is there can be some energy imbalances. Because during the entire day or even during night, what happens is we can see the energy fluctuation happening throughout the period. So we never know when we are consciously, when we are awake, we have the control, we have the ability to control. So this I'm talking in terms of scientific way. We have the ability to control our body movements, or if there is any kind of energy fluctuation, we have that ability because we are awake. But when you enter into subconscious mind, if there is some irregularities happening, you won't be able to take measures. So that's the thing. What happens if the placement of the mirror, it can manipulate the energy. It can either enhance the energy or it can even nullify the energy. So that's why you have to avoid having mirrors in the bedroom. Even if you have mirrors, make sure that while you are going to sleep, you cover it up. So that's the thing, of late, people are opting for walk-in closets wherein they have the entire setup of mirrors, everything. So that is one of the best practice wherein, it is separate. You have created a space for itself. So having each, see, every object should have its own space, right? When we are inculcating, these are all foreign things. See, in olden times, we didn't have all these things. In fact, we didn't have, 4, 5 toilets at all. Not just that, we had only one toilet, and that too, it was outside. If I'm talking about our, grandfather, grandmother times.
Yes,
So,
yes.
this was the common practice. Having an attached bathroom with the bedroom, it was not at all, and it was unheard of. So these are all foreign things. When we are adopting their system, we have to adopt everything. In the sense, they have a dedicated space for study, They have a dedicated space for working. They have a living room. But in India, what we do is we just take the things which we are comfortable with. We don't take the study room. The people don't construct study room at all. They say that instead of that, you build another room, bedroom itself, and
Echo room.
yeah, they take their work and they sit on the bed and they start working. Now what happens? There'll be conflict because each you see the place where we are eating, we don't go to bathroom and eat food, right? We eat in a particular place. There's a particular place assigned for that. When we are doing puja, there's a assigned place, even if it is small. So there should be, you should assign places for every activities. That's what I meant. So if you're taking work to your bedroom, what happens? You're creating that energy. So there can be interpersonal relationship problems. There'll be a lot of conflict. This we are seeing conflict. Many people are, filing a lot of divorces. It's happening big time. The reason for this is one of the main reasons because they are taking everything. We are carrying mobile phones everywhere we are taking. So, you should avoid taking mobile phones to the bedroom as well as far as possible. Except in terms of certain emergencies, what you can do is you can place your mobile phone away from your bed. It can be, 2 to 3 meters away or 1 meter away like that.
Samina, you had a question?
Yeah, I basically have two questions. One is I wanted to understand what is your opinion on the water sources. Like people also say, where is the sump has to be replaced, the water tank. That is the one. And second thing, you also mentioned if you are choosing a property, it has to be a square shape and thing. So how does the shape of a building or a plot affect in terms of Vastu?
Coming to your first question, yes. See, what happens is basically when you're digging, let's say there is a sump in the southwest direction. Why do we create water source there? People who do that, water is not the element of southwest. Southwest is a element where you have to have earth. That's why it's known as Uberbule. That is, you have to have a heavy objects kept over there, be it office, be it house, be it farm. Even farmhouses, you have to place the farmhouse in the southwest corner. All the heavy machinery equipments, it should be in the southwest corner. Because when you're creating a sump, it should be in the north direction. It should be in that direction. And coming to the second thing about the space. See, even if you have a irregular shape, I mentioned, right? Energy flow will be there if there is, there should be some kind of organized way. Then only you can see that energy flow. If things are haphazard, you can see the energy getting distorted. So if you have a haphazard shape of plot, make sure that even in that you create a boundary. So you need not reject that plot in entirety. What you can do is, even if you have a irregular shape, in that you can define a shape. That is, you can create in the rectangle shape. You can make sure that there is a slope from south to north. Like that, you can do it. So it's all about your innovation as well. So as I said, Vastu is all about balancing. So it's not about looking for perfection because you can't find any kind of perfection at all. So whatever you have, whatever resources you have, in that you have to find that balance. If not, even as I said, there are many solutions to this. So even if if you are unable to do it, you can contact us, you can contact my team. We are there to guide everyone. So we are there to help. So shall we move on with the topic, because still there are another two topics to cover. We can keep the question answer session for the last for the end. Now coming to the, I was talking about the direction. So the best practices. So we covered the residential plots. Now coming to the commercial and office spaces. Now main entrance, as I said, either it should be north or east. That is most preferable. Even if you have south, we have seen people, becoming more prosperous even with south entrances. There are a couple of entrances in south as well. So, you can, but most preferably it is north and east. The owner's cabin should be in the southwest corner. As I said, it's the that is where you keep the cash counter, everything. So you can keep the locker room there. You can keep the cash box, all those things over there. And make sure that the cash counter is facing north direction. So suppose this is the southwest, it should face north. So like that. And the reception area, ideally it should be in the northeast area, because if you have reception in that direction, you'll get good business and opportunities. And as I said, make sure that north and northeast area, it is not cluttered. It should be open as far as possible. Let it be in open. And the workstation for the employees, they should either face east or north for productivity. What happens is if if the employees are facing west, you can see the sudden drainage of energy. They feel very tired, stressed, because what happens is when you're facing west direction, lot of it has the effect of cleansing. So even the energy, it gets cleansed. So it's better to face north or east direction, the employees. And coming to the lighting and ventilation, as far as possible, try to inculcate nature. That is, try to inculcate a lot of plants into the space, a lot of sunlight, ventilation, all these things. Proper ventilation should be there. Let it not, don't depend too much on air condition, because what happens is, even this is scientifically proven. If you don't have enough oxygen in your blood, you can't be productive. So inculcating the plants, what I suggested, there are many more plants, but these are some of the plants wherein it generates a lot of oxygen as well. So it's not just about Vastu plants. It's also about enhancing the oxygen. And on top of it, it also generates a lot of positive energy. So when a person intakes a lot of oxygen, what happens? It enters your bloodstream and it goes to your brain as well. So the brain function improves. So this is the scientific way of telling. Now, another thing for the coming to the point, the next is the plots or plot stand construction. See, square and rectangular shape is the preferable shape, because it shows stability and financial security. And another thing is you should avoid T-joint plots. That is, there is a road like this going, and there is another road coming and hitting. This plot over here, I don't know whether you can see or not. The plot which will be here, that should be avoided. What happens is the energy, it will hit that particular house, or that particular, it can be office or residential house. So avoid those plots, as it can bring instability and business losses. And as I said, ideally, the slope of the land should be from south to north. So this is south, north. Or if it is east to west, it should be east, west. So this is how the slope. Slope in the sense it need not be like this. Just the gradient what you will have, it should be like that. And see, basically what happens is, as I said, south is the element of earth. There, water should not be there. So when you have the slope, what happens? The water flows from south to north, because north is the uh, element of water. Now, coming to the last topic, that is practical tips for home buyers and real estate investors. Now, for home buyers, when buying a home or investing in real estate, Vastu factor can influence long-term benefits. Now, as a home buyer, what you have to make sure is ensure the entrance is in an auspicious direction, right? As I said, you can take even south direction, but avoid southwest at any cost. So this is the only uh, area where you have to avoid. Rest, you can, depending on your requirement, we can suggest. But optimally, it should be north or east. Now, avoid homes with toilets or staircases in the northeast corner. As I said, northeast, you should not have any kind of, it should be open. Now, Pooja ma'am, she was asking that, about the villas, right? So when you have villas, make sure that there is no staircase in that direction, right? So that is one thing you have to look out for. Now, and check if the sunlight, ventilation are adequate for positive energy. Look out for the shape of the plant, the plot as well. As I said, avoid the irregular shape. For a real estate investor, investing in Vastu compliant properties increases demand and resale value. So commercial properties should have well planned, main entrances and a cash counter in the north, and avoid properties near cemeteries, hospitals, T junction, as they emit lot of negative energy. See, this is a common practice nowadays. What is happening is builders are building plots on cemeteries and burial grounds, old burial grounds. When it's done, they just build it. So avoid that. And on the water, this thing like dried up lake, they fill it up and they just build it. So it's you have to avoid these areas. And before construction, ensure the land slope and the direction are favorable. For builders and developers, create a vastu friendly layout. What happens is it attracts a large pool of buyers, and ensure the kitchen, bedroom, bathrooms are positioned correctly. And when you are marketing these properties as a Vastu compliant properties, it increases the value as well, right? Now people, and this is we have seen a lot of things. As I said, just by changing the color, that is the paint color of certain direction, we have seen immense results. So imagine if you have already a Vastu compliant property, not just as a builder or a developer, the even the home buyers, even they will have a lot of prosperity energy increasing. So this concludes the topics what Manoj ji and his team had given me. Now, I have certain case studies. If you want, I can just go through that as well.
Please share the case study. That will be
Yeah.
helpful.
So the first case study I would like to share is the residential home transformation. So what happened was a client was facing financial issues and frequent disputes at home, consulted us. So their home had a southwest. One of the participants, he was asking why we should not take southwest. So we had that southwest entrance and a toilet in the northeast, and kitchen was in wrong direction. Now, first what we did we ensured that took certain measures to rectify the entrance, and shifting of the kitchen was able. We were able to shift the southeast, the kitchen to the southeast because he had that provision. And after doing that, we provided certain products and remedies and rituals. With that, we saw he, well, not alone him, even his family members, there was improved financial stability, and the family harmony was improved. And all this happened within a couple of months. We were able to do that. And coming to office space success, a business owner was struggling with the declined profits. His office had a main entrance in the southwest again. Now the cash counter facing south. So if you remember, I told you the cash counter should face north. Now it was facing south and a cluttered workstation. So we suggested a reorientation of the entrance, placing the cash counter towards the north, decluttering the space. So within 6 months, he reported better cash flow, increased business and opportunities. So for we have another case study of a real estate developer where a builder was developing a new apartment complex, consulted us to ensure that it is Vastu compliant. We advised him north and east facing main gates, balanced all the elements, balancing of all the elements was done, and we aligned all the kitchens, bedroom, toilets in the proper placement. And the project was marketed as a Vastu compliant residential complex, and received higher sales as compared to the other buildings which were developing in that area. And the booking, even the bookings compared to the non-Vastu compliant properties, it was huge. So we were able to see all these things. And even today, till today, we have, we are receiving positive things itself. People residing in those residential complexes, they're able to see that their financial growth. See, when we talk about growth, we should not just see about the financial. We have to see relationship wise, harmony, peace, happiness, overall well-being is what we look at. So this is a case study. Now, the key takeaways, what I would like to share is Vastu can enhance health, wealth, happiness in homes and offices. Properties designed with Vastu principles have higher resale value and demand. So, small corrections and remedies can make a huge difference. Investors and home buyers should check Vastu factors before purchasing. Now, for more details, you can contact my team at 900 852 9476, or you can directly contact me at 76760 18737. So if you have any questions, we can discuss it.
Anyone has, I think Barsa had a questions and Pawan has a question. Please feel free to ask. And then we'll wind up session for today.
Sure. So I will start. Thank you, Manojji. Thank you so much for the very good insights on the Vastu aspects. So I had the commercial real estate and mostly and plots basically. So mostly I found an adversity towards selecting a property which is road hit.
That is the T
And
junction, right?
T junction, yes. So this is something which I came to know after coming to Bangalore.
Yeah.
So I am born and brought up in North India, and there we are not actually aware of any such concept. And hence, that is my first question. What is the reason for that? Secondly, what is the solution in case there is a property, such a property?
Yeah, see, when it comes to solution, we can't just look at just one aspect. As I said, there are many things. We have to look into the entire plot. We have to look into the planetary positions. We have to look into the all the aspects. So I can't generalize, saying that this is the way you have to deal with it. So as I said, you can contact our team. They'll guide you in a much better way, and you can share your details with them. So, or you can directly contact me. So, we have to look into many factors before getting into the solution part.
All right. So what is the reason for that? Why such a property is not preferred
As
by
I,
the
yeah,
buyers?
yeah. See, what happens is, as I said, the energy flow. See, it's all about the energy flow. So you have to balance these energies. That's all. So when you're purchasing a T junction plot, what happens is the T point plot, what we call, the energy flow from the road will be very intense, and it will be like gushing in and hitting that plot, hitting that residential house or the office which is constructed there. So what happens is it can be negative energy because a lot of people will be traveling on that road. So there'll be lot of it can be many aspects will be there, but basically there'll be lot of negative energy which will be traveling from that road, and it will hit that particular plot. So that's the thing why we usually tell to avoid that, because even if you are looking into the solution part also, there are many things, but you can start certain. Okay, one tip I would like to give you here is you can plant aloe vera in the entrance. You can see the difference, how it is, how things are going. So there are certain remedies also, but it's better. Prevention is always better than cure. So that's why we suggest not to, go in for that T joint plot.
Thank you, Mr. Rohit. Thank you.
Yeah. So I encourage all of you to start applying Vastu principles and selecting or designing spaces according to the Vastu principles. So that's what, as I said, if you want personalized consultation or further questions, you can connect with my team or directly to myself. So, any other questions?
Pooja, over to you. I think we are done, right? Pooja, over
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and a special thank you to Mr. Rohit for sharing his knowledge on Vastu principles, best practices, and real life examples. We hope this session provided you all with valuable insights into the Vastu Shastra and how it can improve real estate. This webinar is also part of our ongoing efforts to help you make better real estate decisions. So, we would love to hear your thoughts. We'll be sending a short feedback form after the webinar. And if you have any other topics that you would like us to cover in future webinars, please do mention them in the feedback form. Thank you once
So
again
I
for
would
being
like
with
to
us
thank
today.
all of you for your time and attention, and a big thanks to Manoj ji and his entire team for this opportunity. And I'd like to say, hats off to Manoj ji for conducting this webinar, because it's very much important, and it's very much essential. And what you have done is a very good thing about in educating people with basic things. We need not get in depth, but at least you took the effort in conducting this webinar, and I'm really grateful for you for that. And I wish all of you with success, prosperity in your real estate ventures. So stay blessed.
And from me, they'll say gratitude and be happy. Very, very grateful to you. You spend your time with us, with my team,
My pleasure,
and
sir.
it's always helpful. I truly believe knowledge is the best gift for the mankind in today's world.
Yes.
So thank you
One
very
thing
much.
I'd like to say here is, see, whatever it is, don't fall for half knowledge. Don't have this half knowledge concept. We are professionals. We are always there to guide you. So it's always better to have complete knowledge rather than implementing tidbits from here and there and implementing by yourself. You can just contact us, and thanks to Manoj ji and his entire team for organizing this webinar.
Thank you so much. I've also shared our details
Thank you
in the
so
chat.
much.
So, in case you have any questions, please do connect with us. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.